Hey friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, where today I am going to show you how to crochet these cute little Christmas trees. For today's project, you are going to need some worsted weight yarn and a 4.5mm crochet hook. However, the great thing about this project is that you can use any hook and any yarn weight you choose and make your trees any size. But for today's tutorial, we will be using a 4.5mm and some worsted weight cotton. In today's video, I am using Lion Brand's local grown cotton. This is a 100% made in the USA, sourced completely here cotton yarn, which is absolutely fabulous. It is really soft. It's a great yarn, feels amazing. I've worked with it a few times. I really enjoy using it. This color that I'm using is called Evergreen. So it is just a perfect shade of green to make these cute little crochet Christmas trees. To get started making these cute little Christmas trees, what we're going to do is find the end of our yarn. We are going to create a slip knot, insert our hook, and we are going to chain 3. You are then going to place 3 half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. That first chain 3 does not count as a stitch. We are then going to pull this nice and tight, and this is going to form the point of the tree. We will then chain 1, turn, and we are going to slip stitch in the back loops only of these 3 half double crochet that we just created. 1, 2, 3. Now, depending on how loose your starting chains are, right here, see, you might have this little bit of a bump out. What I like to do is take out that last slip stitch if that's happening to me, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook into the back loop of the last half double crochet, and then I'm also going to pick up the back loop of that 3rd chain, and then I'm going to create my slip stitch through that. And what that does is it pulls that edge from that starting chain nice and tight, so that this way you have a nice clean edge when you're coming down the point of your tree. Okay, so that creates row 2. Row 3, we are going to turn, and we are going to be increasing in the first and last stitch. So to do the first increase, what we're going to do is, again, using the back loop, we are going to insert our hook, and we are going to create a stacked single crochet. So to make a stacked single crochet, you insert your hook into the back loop and create a single crochet as you normally would. We are now going to stack a single crochet on top of that single crochet. So to do that, you have these 2, are we focused? We are focused. You have these 2 bars in your single crochet. We are going to insert our hook into that 2nd bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, so that we have 2 loops on your hook, just like you would with a regular single crochet, yarn over, and complete your stitch. So what that's going to do, it's going to create this nice edge. Can you see that? It's going to create this nice edge instead of using a turning chain so that nothing bumps out, and it's giving you a little bit more bulk to this stitch, so that this way the edges of your tree remain nice and full and nice and straight. Okay, and now remember, we're doing an increase. So we are going to, again, place another stitch in the first stitch that we just worked, which is a half double crochet. So we have a stacked single crochet and a half double crochet in the first stitch. We're going to place a half double crochet in the next stitch, again, using the back loop. And then in this last stitch, we're going to place 2 half double crochet, again, making sure to only use the back loops of these slip stitches from the previous row. So now what that's going to do is give us 5 stitches, 1 stacked and 4 half double crochet for row 3. We're going to chain 1, turn, and slip stitch across using the back loops only. The slip stitch rows do not have any increase stitches. So we just made 5 stitches in row 3. So row 4, we will only have 5 stitches. Now moving on to our next row, which is going to be row 5, we are going to turn. And just like we did in the previous half double crochet row, we are going to use the back. General. We got a kitten. We named him the General. He's screaming. He's very loud. Back to what I was saying. So back loops only. We are going to create a stacked single crochet. So again, create a regular single crochet, and then using that second bar, stack another single crochet on top of it. And then in that same stitch using the back loop, place another half double crochet. And then you are going to half double crochet in every stitch across, excuse me, using only the back loops until you get to the final stitch. And in that final stitch, you are going to place 2 half double crochet for another increase. Oh, General. Do you hear him? He's very chatty. Okay, then we are going to chain 1, turn, and we will slip stitch across in each stitch, again, using only the back loops, and there are no increases on the slip stitch rows. Okay. So that completes row 6 with a total of 7 slip stitches. Turn, and now we are back to a half double crochet row, which means this first stitch using the back loops only, we're going to create the increase with the stacked single crochet and the half double crochet. Half double crochet across using the back loop only of each of these slip stitches, and then when we get to our final stitch, again, we will be placing 2 half double crochet for another increase. So your half double crochet rows will always increase by 2 stitches, and your slip stitch rows do not have an increase. So the slip stitch rows will have the same number of stitches as the previous half double crochet row, and then all of your half double crochet rows will increase at the beginning and an end, so that this way each half double crochet row increases by 2. So now what we are going to do is chain 1, turn, and put all of our slip stitches in the back loops only in every stitch across for this next row, and we are going to continue repeating those last 2 rows for the remainder of this pattern, which is by increasing on the half double crochet rows and then slip stitching on the slip stitch rows with no increases. So the beauty of this pattern is that you can use any hook and any matching yarn weight that you would like. So this is great for little scrap projects. This is great to make Christmas tree ornaments. You could make a garland for your mantle. These would be great little tags to put on presents, like little wine bottle tags. These would be really, really cute for gift tags on boxes and bags. You could even make these quite a bit larger than what I've been making them, and you can use them as like cute little drink coasters, right? If you made this big enough, or if you used some chunky yarn, I mean, you could make them fairly large, and they would be great as drink coasters, or even did I do 2 here? I did not. I need to do my increase. Or even, they would be so cute for like the place settings. You know, you could put next to it and have your fork and your knives and your spoons on these for Christmas dinner. I mean, there's just so many ways that you could use these that are just super fun for your holiday decor. You could even, you know what, you could probably make 2 of them and seam them together and stuff them a little bit to make like a plushie, almost like a faux amigurumi. I know that those are something, they're so cute, and I wish I could do them more, but they hurt my hands so much doing all those tight, tiny little stitches to make sure that, you know, you don't have any gaps and holes in whatever it is that you're making. So a little faux amigurumi with these Christmas trees would be super cute, like a little plushie, you know, like if we just took these, put them together, and you could seam this all and like stuff it a bit, be super cute. Give it a little bit of depth. You could hang them. You could take these and you could even sew some little beads on them, like Christmas lights. Oh gosh, that'd be so cute. you know, or even if you could find like a little star pendant at your craft store, you could add your star on top, or even an angel or something, a little snowflake. There's so many different things that you could do with these. They're super fun. You can make a bunch of these. You can make them bigger and give them to your kids or your grandkids so that they could decorate them for Christmas. You know, you could get little felties, or I don't know, you could go get a whole bunch of stuff and make these into a fun little project. All right, so I am going to, oops, where am I? Let's see, what am I doing? I just did a slip stitch row, so I have to do a increase row, again, starting with the stacked single crochet in the first stitch, and then placing a half double crochet again in that first stitch, making sure we're only using the back loops. So using the back loops is what creates this beautiful texture. Both sides are really pretty, so there's not really a wrong side to this tree. This is technically the right side, but the wrong side is just as cute. So if you did make these into a garland and they were hanging and they kind of spun around a bit, they look great on both sides. There's not a wrong side. So I'm going to finish a few more rows, and then I am going to show you how we make the cute little stump on the bottom. Okay, all of my kids are distracted, so I'm stopping this tree short so I could show you how to do the stump while everybody is happy. So this tree is a little bit smaller than these trees, which again is fine. These trees have a total of 16 rows, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yes, so these have 16. This one's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So you can see a little bit of a difference, but super cute either way. I'm going to show you how we make the stump. So I finished off with 13 stitches on this row. So what we're going to do is we are going to count over, so that this way on this one you count over 6, and then in the 7th stitch you reattach your yarn, and then you're going to slip stitch 5 stitches. Okay, so on this one, because it's a little bit smaller, I am going to count over, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say that would be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would only be about 3 stitches. We'll come back one just a little bit so that this way you could see it. So we're going to turn this, right, because we would have been working back this way to create our next row, and I want to be working in the back loops again to keep that same look going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to come in right here, and then I'm going to take this black yarn that I have, and I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop like this. I'm going to make sure I have enough of a tail so that I can weave that in, and I'm going to yarn over and pull up another loop so I could pull this down tight. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to slip stitch in that stitch again, right? So slip stitch and then slip stitch 2, 3, 4, 5. So this has 5 slip stitches. I'm also doing 5 on this one proportionally. It might look a little bit off, but we're just going to go with it. Now, on the stumps, we are not going to chain 1 when we turn. We are just going to we're going to turn, and then using the back loops only, we are going to put our slip stitches in. The reason that I'm not using the chain 1 there is because with all of these back loop only slip stitches, that chain 1 can kind of add some bulk to the ends, and it can make it look a little bit sloppy. So just be mindful of your tension and do not do that chain 1. This last one's going to be a little difficult. Okay, turn. Okay, again, mindful of your tension, so if you need to, wiggle this hook a little bit to loosen it up. Insert your hook, back loop only, yarn over, and create that slip stitch. My tension tightened up a little bit. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, find that last stitch, 5, right? Turn, and I'm going to create one more row of this back loop only slip stitch to complete this little stump. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now I'm going to cut my yarn, pull this through, and then I will go and weave in all those ends, and I have a cute little tree. So let's see. Yeah, proportionally, I mean, it's not terrible. Probably would have looked better if I did 3 on this one. This one's got 5. Maybe if I did 3 proportionally, that might look a little bit better. But that way I was able to show it to you before any of my children came running back inside. It has been, goodness, like 95 plus here in Florida with like 85% or more humidity. It has been insane this summer, and so right now it's actually pretty nice out, so the boys are enjoying some time outside with dad, and I am enjoying some quiet time to do a little bit of recording. But I hope that you guys found this tutorial helpful. I hope you make lots of these cute little trees for your holiday home decor. Make sure you guys like and subscribe so that this way you never miss any of my easy video tutorials and modern free crochet patterns.